Okay folks, in this video we're going to learn how to do a loft using Fusion. And you may ask, well, what is a loft? And I'm glad that you asked that question, because a loft is the word I'm going for. A loft is a creation, a 3D model or shape that is based off typically two or more different cross sections that are spaced apart. Now that's a lot of words to say this. If I draw a square and then I come way up here and I draw a circle and I tell it to loft, it's going to create a solid model that is a combination of the square rectangle shape and the circle, and it's going to blend it up nice and neat. It's going to even go from the rectangle to the circle and create this cool 3D object. But it requires several components. For one thing, you're going to have to create your first sketch. Then you're going to have to create a drawing plane. This is item number 2. A drawing plane that is offset from the other one, or is some other feature away from the first one. It can't be on the same plane, because that means you would have a circle right in the middle of a rectangle, and that can be lofted. There has to be a height difference between the two planes or the two surfaces that you're drawing on. Then of course you have to have number 3, the actual cross section that you're translating into, and of course number 4 is the actual loft command. So here's how it works. I'm going to start off by doing a normal sketch. I'll choose this plane here, nothing special, and I'll choose some type of rectangular structure. It doesn't really matter what I draw. I hit stop sketch. Okay. Now my next step, as you saw, is to create a plane that is offset from this one for me to loft into. So I go to construct, and a choice, I could do this a bunch of different ways, but I'm going to create a drawing plane that is offset from the first one. It says select, which means I need to select this one, and then I need to tell it some distance higher. I'll just drag it up, we'll say 100 units, that's cool, and I'll say okay. Now I have an object here and a drawing plane here that I'm going to draw on. So I hit sketch again, and I select, instead of this plane or my origin, I select this new one I created to be my drawing surface. Then I sketch something, let's try an ellipse, and I'll do it from the center so it's nice and lined up. Make it like that. And by the way, the loft is a complex object, so if you were to draw a tiny little circle here, it may not work. So you notice that I'm drawing something kind of around the same size of the original rectangle, just to help it make a good loft. So now we have, as you can see, we have two drawings. We have our rectangle here and our circle here. This is not a plane, this is my drawing on a plane, but this is my circle that was created on a third plane, or second plane I should say. Anyway, they're offset from each other. How far? 100 millimeters. Next I go to create and say loft, click it, click the first cross section, then click the second cross section, and look at that. It's already merged it, creates a new body, and I say okay, and now I have this cool 3D creation. Now let's take it another step further. Let's draw another plane offset from this one to create another loft. Actually, no, wait, let's do this. How about pause the video and do what I've roughly done. Okay, pause the video and do that now. Alright, next step, let's create a loft a little bit higher. So I'm going to create another offset plane. I'm going to select this surface, and I'm going to drag this one up another 90. That's fine. Again, this is my sketching plane that I'm going to draw on. I hit sketch, select this plane here, making sure that you're not selecting something else. Got to be real careful sometimes. Select this, it places it over top, and now this time let's create something, let's try a little something different. Let's do a spline, which is a little bit more complex shape, and I'll just kind of click around. Let's see how it does. This may or may not work, because lofts are complicated objects, so if you start doing other complicated cross sections, it may make it tricky for it to make. Hit stop sketch. Oops, missed that, sorry. Need to edit the sketch and finish that. Let's close that. There we go, that's a little better. Maybe drag this out a little bit, shape that a little bit that way. Stop sketch. Had to make sure my spline was closed, otherwise this wouldn't work. So we see it up in space above my other one. I hit my create, my loft, and I select this surface, and then I select this surface. Yep, see that? Couldn't be created, try changing the inputs. So I made it too hard for it to do. So let's back off that, and I'll go back to my sketch here, and I'll just say edit sketch, and I'll just delete off my funky little spline. So we'll do something a little bit more, we'll do something circulish. If I hit the button, let's try that again. Circle, diameter circle, click there, about yay. And we can make it a little bit bigger if we want to. Go there. And now I have a big circle up above my ellipse. Create, loft, this surface. Looks like it's still not going to be able to make it for us. These rails don't intersect. So what's basically not going to, it's having a hard time doing this. And that's okay, because that does happen with lofts. So you got to be careful about that. Another thing that I may need to do, I may need to go back and just redraw this same cross section to help it out a little bit. So let's try that first. I'm just going to delete this sketch. And I'm going to create a new sketch here on this surface. And I'll just create an ellipse to be the same size. This may help it out, it may not. Right now we're just kind of doing a little troubleshooting to see what we can create. Sketch, I'll have to recreate my other plane. Let's go sketch, see if it'll let me do it again. Yeah, I'll probably have to create another plane. So, construct, there, 110 this time, that's fine. Doesn't really matter. So we've got sketch there, and I'm gonna try a new sketch here. Bam. Let's draw another circle. I keep hitting it wrong, sorry. There we go. And let's try the loft again. Got it. Okay, now I can't tell you that the reason that worked was because I went ahead and redrew these ellipse down here, or it's just a better cross section to merge to. Could go either way. So how about this though? You can probably figure out the answer. If you'll go ahead and pause the video now and create what I've created, we can continue on. Alright, now again, it doesn't really matter that you hit all these exact same sizes that I do, but roughly around the same size is good. We'll try and modify and see how it looks with a cool fillet around this edge, and this edge, and this edge, and this edge. Let's say a fillet of 5, that looks neat, and okay. And then while I'm at it, let's go down here and add a cool chamfer or something. Probably just need to be in the right mode for that, or menu. How about this, and we'll say chamfer of 5. There we go, nice little bottom edge. So a loft can have a lot of cool features to it. Now, why are we learning lofts? It's because lofts are more conducive to complex design. And as we've learned, additive manufacturing or 3D printing works best when things are complex. So with additive products, you will see a lot more applications of lofts and smooth curves and organic design, as that works best with the technology. All right, so anyway, let's just do this. Go ahead and just kind of try what I've done. Make a nice little fillet edge around the top, maybe a chamfer across the bottom. They work real easily, and that'll be a good stopping point for us. All right, so we just finish that up. Actually, I take that back. Let's do this. Let's just make it our own, just to make sure that we can. And here's what I'm going to do. On the top, I'll create a sketch, and I'm going to create, I don't know, let's add some good old-fashioned text. Let's call it W. I always like to rotate that sucker around, position it in a better place, maybe bold it up a little bit, maybe reduce the size down a little bit so it fits right on the top. There we go, stop sketch. And I will extrude it to make my own creation if I get to hit. There we go, get a 2. There we are, and okay. So let's make it our own. Go ahead and pause the video, finish up, actually go ahead and create the last little components that I have done, and then add your initials to the top, and we'll stop there. We'll see.